Good morning, Wall Street winners. It is Thursday, October 17th, and we've had some earnings come in earlier this morning for TSM and M&T Bank, and both have been very positive. If we take a look at the futures markets in the Bloomberg app, you'll see that all three, of the U.S. indices are in the green. The NASDAQ up the most. It's up almost 1% at 0.86%. The S&P 500 is up almost 0.5%, and the Dow Jones is just mildly up 0.1%, but everything is in the green. We're waiting on retail sales numbers at 8:30 this morning. And that could change things and shift things slightly, but I do expect that those sales numbers will be in line with estimates and be steadily progressing in a trend of positive news. If we take a look down through the Yahoo app, what we'll see is in the health and retail sector, Costco got beat up a little bit yesterday. It's making a small recovery. Lulu had a good day, but it's in a bit of a retraction mode in the pre-market. So it's a bit of a mixed bag here in health and retail. Scrolling down to transport, JB Hunt had a great day yesterday. It was up 550. It is now down 15 cents, 14 cents in the pre-market. And then oil. Oil got slammed in the last week or so with that big drop. Crude down just around $70.30. It's been up and down this morning pre-market, but it's down 2 cents right now. I think crude's going to turn around and have a positive day. I don't think it's going to be a hugely positive day, but I think it will be on into the green today, and that should cause oil stocks to be in the green as well. They're setting up to be in the green right now, but only slightly. So I think a lot of this is going to be dependent on some other factors. We did get the results yesterday from Kinder Morgan. So Kinder Morgan came out after market yesterday and missed on earnings and revenue. So they are down slightly, 2% in the pre-market. And this could be a precursor of things to come. Hopefully it's not. We do have some others releasing. SLB releases tomorrow. So we'll have to wait until tomorrow to hear what they're doing and what that looks like in terms of their business and how that may apply to the rest of the sector. But I think we may see a bit of a green day for most oil stocks today, Kinder Morgan being probably the exception based on their earnings. And then we get down into tech, and what an exciting day it is today. So we had this bad earnings report out of ASML earlier this week, and that really threw a wrench and some fear into the market, and it caused a lot of stocks to come off of their recent highs, NVDA being one of those. And then we had, and I'm just going to scroll right to the bottom here and start from the bottom and go up. And then we had TSM come out this morning, and TSM had incredible results, great earnings, great revenue, great forecast, and they are up almost $16 in the pre-market. So this is going to take them above $200 a share, and that is really creating an upward draft and lift to the other major semis. So NVDA getting a big boost on that. They're going to move in to the 139, 140 territory, which is what we predicted just a few weeks ago. You've got the likes of your Lam Research up 221. You have Qualcomm up 321 in the pre-market. On semi up $1.32. ARM is up, what is that, $6.18. That's a big move for ARM in the pre-market. So most of your semis are moving in the upward direction. And then as we go to the top, NVDL. This is one I really love. This is that hedged NVIDIA play. It is up $4.37 in the pre-market. And then you go to Micron. Micron's up 233. So the semis look like they're going to have a pretty strong day today, and that could be a place to pay some attention to if you aren't in that already. If you're in the semis already, I would not be taking your profits today. I think that you're going to see a continued uptrend as we move through into other earnings from some of our other semiconductor companies. You may want to take individual profit earnings and shift those into other groups. So if you own TSM, maybe you want to take some profit there and moving into Lam Research. And you may want to take some profit out of your financials if you were in JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, which had a stellar day yesterday off of great earnings, and or Goldman. If you were in M&T, you might want to take some profit off the table there and then start to move that and redeploy it into other companies that have yet to report. I'm a big fan going into earnings in just a couple of weeks. So they're 12 days out. So it wouldn't be an immediate jump in for me right now, but I have started to buy some Google ahead of Google earnings and take some money out of some of the other companies, particularly some of the financials, and move that into technology and just kind of roll that forward. So that's the strategy here. We're just trying to make 1% to 2% gains on a trade and do that over the course of many days throughout the year to end up with a phenomenal return at the end of the year and stay in cash the majority of the time to mitigate your risk in the event of a pullback. If you're liking these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button. We do put these out every day, and they're meant to provide you with some guidance on what's going on in the market. So that down to the last sector here in banking and finance, this has been doing very, very well. SoFi had a bit of a pullback. Looks like it's pulling back again here. So this could be a good time to get into SoFi ahead of their earnings. They're out in 12 days as well, same day as Google. We've heard from the likes of the big banks, JP Morgan, which has done well, Goldman and Morgan Stanley. M&T came out this morning, had some fabulous earnings and forecast they're up $2.65. So they went into the 190s as we talked about them doing yesterday. I think you're going to be set up for some good results out of Raymond James, although they've had a really, really positive run up going into earnings in 5 days. So I would expect 5 or 6 days. I would expect a bit of a pullback in Raymond James into or at their earnings if this run up continues. I don't think it's sustainable to continue to run up to earnings and then have a pop there. So I'd be a little leery on that one. Bank of California comes out in 5 days. I think you're going to see some positive results out of these, especially if we're starting to see a consistent positive message out of other regionals. So it's still early. We haven't heard from Zion Bank, which we follow here at the bottom. They've got 4 days to earnings. We haven't heard from some of the other regionals, so keeping an eye on those. If the trend is positive, then it should be positive for Bank of California as well, and that may be one to put some money into ahead of those earnings. So that's where we are today on the 17th. If we take a look at the events, the events calendar, the earnings calendar, we had TSM, we have Netflix today at the end of the day, so this will be an interesting one to keep an eye on. Tomorrow we have SLB, and then Monday we have Zion Bank. Tuesday, CNR. Now, CNR will be interesting. CSX, one of the big U.S. operators of railroads, they came out and they missed yesterday on their results. So it'll be, and we had a strike with CNR earlier. I'm very, very bearish on CNR for this quarterly earnings cycle, despite the great show on JB Hunt. And maybe JB Hunt's good earnings and revenue were due to some of the poor results from the railroads. So still early, just as a hypothesis, but that's a possibility. And then next Wednesday, we've got Tesla, Lam Research, IBM, and Valero on Friday, as well as, Thursday, and HCA on Friday. So tomorrow's a big week, next week is a big week for the stocks we follow. So we'll keep an eye out on those, but that's where we are today on the 17th. Good luck with your trades. And if you'd like to see anything covered on the channel, please just drop me a comment.